Hello, everyone, and welcome to CSR Main. Back to CSR Main here. We've got another match of the Zelda 2 Randomizer Standard Tournament 2023 here. We're back here with another match. We have ourselves Game 2 of the Grand Finals of the Nibiru Invitational Tournament here. This is Game 2 in a best-of-5 series where Gob took Game 1. And we have ourselves TheGobOne, Valence versus TheGobOne. I'm sorry, our two cows for this one tonight are Eleanor and Mariah. Take it away here, you two.
Yes, hello everyone. Welcome to the Nibiru Invitational Final Game 2. Elendar in the booth with me. I'm excited. I'm sure you're excited. But how do we feel about this race?
I mean, of course excited is how it normally is. The last race was close. It turned out to be a little closer at the end than maybe you would have thought as we were going through. But Gob did end up taking it down. This is a best of 5, so not going to have a winner crown today. Or if Gob goes up 2 games, it's obviously a giant lead. If Valence isn't up, then we get more Zelda 2.
Yeah. What an interesting race the last one was. Just happened the other day. Did not happen previous on this channel. Previous on this channel was Chroma and Pickles and Beer Game 1 semifinals for the standard tournament. That one is happening, I believe, in just a moment over on ZSR 2. But back in Game 1 for these two runners, not to be confusing, we've got a lot of Z2R happening. Back in Game 1 for these two runners, it was Valence found the boots, which really opened up the islands west, and was it an islands east as well? And
yeah, double islands,
but not required at all because Gob was able to make it everywhere on foot. I mean, with boots on your feet is also on foot, but I mean, having to stick to the land, he was able to make it everywhere. He found the boots like 40-something minutes into that seed, whereas Valence had it like 20-something minutes earlier. And that glove location in Game 1, I believe in the basement behind so many containers, Gob to it first and off to the races from there. And first in the GP and first to finish that seed in that race. So yeah, GG to him in that first one. I'm hoping for something as spicy as that right here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, and my favorite races are the ones where, you even if you don't think that it's close initially and people are taking very different routes, when it starts to get to the end, they're like, oh, maybe this is actually really close.
Yeah, 100%. The ones that you really can't calculate out all that well. And again, like exactly what you're saying, that happened in the first race where it's like, are the boots going to be required? Valence has these. Gob might need these, but we're not entirely sure. And at the end of the day, he didn't, and he did stumble upon that glove earlier than Valence did. But yeah, we're off here as we get started. We're going to see what we've got for our biome.
It looks to be mountainous, perhaps. We've got a Saria crossing the mountains, so that generally means mountainous. It's gonna be Spell Town, not great.
Very interesting start there, right next to the town.
Yeah, unfortunately, they're gonna get the far end of Saria, so no Bagu hints. Be nice if someone fixed that.
I'm told that there was a little bird that landed on my shoulder just last week or the week before that said, look for potential changes on those Bagu hints. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to whatever lands in my lap in the future.
Yeah, so Valence finding Pillar P-Bag Cave, gonna get a magic container. Gob gonna do some farming, picks up Attack 2.
Yeah, I didn't see how much those Iron Knuckles were worth. I have a little bit of a stutter here on my side.
Yeah, I think it's on Gobby and or Twitch's end, but it looks like it was 200.
Yeah, it might be worth sticking around at 200 there. Well, he does have 212. I guess that's a pretty good place to start. Can always come back later. It's right next to start if he feels he wants a few more kills.
Yeah, I mean, 200 can be very, very nice. So far, pretty linear mountainous requirement. But
yeah, sorry, one item cave and then right straight north, and this is it. This is our only way out of here.
Okay, it looks like it does branch out pretty well here, so that's nice.
Yes, on the UI, we will try to get that updated there. Gob did take, again, we talked to it to no end there at the beginning that Gob did take game 1 there, so he should have the hash mark next to his name. We can't actually see that on our dashboard, though, so apologies.
Yep, everyone will just have to know that the Gob is up a game in this best of 5. And Valence, okay, 150 for the red Iron Knuckles. As Valence takes one out here in P4.
You didn't see it was on the... Oh, there it is, the grass tile. Okay.
Okay. Raft potentially away off these mountains.
I think we saw Shield in Mito here. Might just be going for the hint right away. First house.
Yeah, Valence interested in the hints. Going to keep going. Pick up the hint for the medicine and also the hint at the far end of town. We're going west to find medicine.
Got a boots blocked cave there on Gob's side. Not sure if that's going to be a pass through or an item cave.
Yeah, hard to say based on the terrain.
Yeah, very limited access here. Is very, very linear. Unless we had from start, I don't know if we could have gone east. I don't know if we looked a little bit further than that P3, P6, if we could go east from start. But it almost looks like we're blocked up here, or do we have something further?
I think we can. I think if you go south, you could back to where that entrance came in. I think you can go east from there.
Okay, I think we're getting a refresh here.
Yep, Twitch, be in Twitch, I think. Yeah, Valence just taking the up A, deciding against continuing on. We are going to see if you can go east here from the start, and you can. So, yeah. Oh, well. Spoke a little bit too soon. You can if you have the boots.
Oh, Gob's got some more caves up here that Valence I don't think showed. That's the back of jump right there. Okay.
Yeah, and
that looks like it's it.
There's a rock block. Okay, you can go up and then east from this little path.
Wow, if this actually dead ends. Oh, wow.
What?
Reverse jump is the only way out of here.
Yeah, I mean, reverse jump, definitely clearable. It's going to be a bit difficult to do in the dark on 2-on-3, but...
Yeah, I mean, I guess if again, we didn't see any further farming of the Iron Knuckle, so it's possible we could go back there. Or here's a P bag. We're about to see how much this is worth. Okay.
Okay. Valence found this other route that you could take. Yeah, this route, Valence, I think Valence, this route is like right when you come up north, you can go east, whereas like Gob went a lot further north. But this sort of leads up to the same place, so I'm not sure how much more you're going to be able to get here. Valence is going to get a spell hint for Reflect. And that trophy is going to be in the east, so...
Okay. No further NPC hints yet, though, right? Not that I can remember.
Yeah, no, nothing known by these townsfolk.
All right, so what is this P bag going to be worth? Stuttering? Didn't see the pickup. Maybe he backed away from it. Maybe it was only worth 100.
Didn't look like a ton. And I think this rock block cave is the other end of jump. Maybe.
Yeah, no, it is because this is not the front of jump. So this is either backwards ferry or Parappa. This is going to be the other rock block cave next to the backside of jump on the top.
What is going on here?
Wow.
What?
I don't know.
Both of those are...
Are we looking for Bagoo? Is that what we're looking for?
Yeah, we could absolutely be looking for Bagoo with no hint.
Gob is literally in the tiles right now. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Gob, these encounter tiles, this is Bagoo's Woods. So, yeah, that's going to be our way forward.
Wow, what a I hate to say tricky start, but awkward, not impossible, right? This is not something that's completely out of the ordinary, but kind of rare with the way that this is all of this kind of nothing up here in the top other than some towns, but no further, like 2 pass-through caves that are just dead-ended on each side. going to give you nothing anyway. And then we're forced to take Saria across. So, okay. But I hope Valence recognizes that sooner than later.
Yeah, I think Valence is going to be up here. And, okay, yeah, Valence.
Perfect.
Oh, no, that's not a Bagu tile.
Oh, no, he's walking away.
No. Yeah, Gob went up, and Gob, I think, quickly identified that Bagu is going to be his way forward, and he sort of went up into those woods and found the Bagu tiles, but Valence just found a fairy.
Wow, that is so unfortunate. Like, you're right there, you know?
Yeah. I mean, but there's nothing else you can do. It's got to be Bagu.
Yeah, and so hopefully, obviously Valence. Oh, he's going into the palace though. But Valence knows what to do. Like, he'll be out of stuff to do. But hopefully, like, this is something that can sometimes slip your mind. Like, it is just Bagu, and it's like, well, sometimes he's on your mind, other times he's not on your mind, and this time right now doesn't seem like he's on Valence's mind, at least at the moment. And there's nothing we could find in this palace that's good. Well, I mean, Magic Key would be swell, but that's, you know, we're not like missing we don't have fairy or anything to pick up. We don't have, I don't know what else we would want. I mean, nothing is going to get us anywhere. We have the raft. The boots aren't going to give us any additional access or anything like that. So, yeah. I think Gob going to be the first one to show us across Saria here.
Yeah, he took his up A after determining he didn't want to spend any more time in that cave, and 324 has gotten some useful experience for his time spent out.
Yeah, we saw one 500-point P-bag. Not sure if we saw another, but we know they're out there.
Yeah, unfortunately, this just is going to be spell here in Saria.
Gonna check the bot hint. We're not gonna see it with the stutter though.
No.
Probably just telling us where Bagu's at anyway.
Yeah, that hint slightly buggy. This has been true since 4.0. But if that bot can roll an helpful hint, and if he does, it overwrites the Bagu's wood hint. So it could be that Gob got a hint from that bot, but we're not going to know what it is. Well, he definitely got a hint. It just could have been the hint to Baga's Woods, which is not helpful.
Yeah, Gob's pretty good at tracking early game, and I think he would have slapped a hint on his own personal tracker there, which we did not see updated. So I'm going to go ahead and say it was probably Bagu in North Woods.
Yeah, we just have not seen almost anything in terms of hints. GobOne finding GP and a bridge off of this mountain.
And a medicine cave right next to it. I don't know if we have any further exploration to the west. I don't know if we saw a mountain right there, if there's anywhere to walk further west. If not, we're taking this bridge wherever it goes, and that's going to be the next set of progression. Yeah,
so Valence took a game over in that palace, but I think when you feel like you have nothing that you can do, sometimes like you'll go into a palace just to give yourself a chance to think, maybe you find a boss, maybe you find an item, maybe you get some experience just while you sort of assemble things together in your head. I think with that game over, Valence is determined, okay, it's definitely Bagu. I got to find Bagu. Let me find every forest I can find and start running my face into them. And that's going to lead him to Bagu probably fairly quickly here.
Okay, two unfortunate events. First of all, I was just going to call back to him being so close to Bagu the first time and missing it. Although he's back in this area, which is good, and he's about to see these tiles perfect. The other problem is that he just saw a P-bag drop from a bit as he walked outside of an encounter. Could have been a big fat 500 bag that he's not going to get the points for.
Yep, but Gob has taken this bridge off the west, picked up a hammer, which not going to be any use in the west because we know both of the hammer black connectors are completely useless. And yeah, Valence is determined, I definitely don't want to miss this Bagu. I'm going to check every single tile in this forest one by one, and it will definitely pay off.
Yeah, so we did have a further path here headed west from the front side of Saria after we went across there. I guess best way to put it is west from GP. So we do see two more caves here. One of them our container cave that we've just walked into right now.
Yeah, thankfully it doesn't look like the enemy set in here too tough. This cave can be really, really rough when you're in here without any helpful spells at low levels.
Yeah, Valen's not going to be that far behind here. He's crossing Saria right now. Probably going to pick up the spell as well. Just an unrandomized, unshuffled heart in Heart Container Cave there.
Oh! Wow! The bit did have a hint, and a great one!
Okay. Well, Gob does have it marked down on his tracker that he does have an E there on the glove now. So there it is. I swear it wasn't there before. It might have been slow to track it, or I might have been just blind.
Yeah, but we're finding the glove in the east.
Well, that's another good hint. Man, did we have a glove hint last seed as well? I think
we
in
did.
The last race
we did have a glove hint last seed, and it was also in the east. Yeah. But the runners did still kind of last location it.
Yeah, and now that Valence got hit by that in last seed, seeing this again here now, I wonder if he's going to be playing a little bit differently to maybe ensure, like, it could just be 5 containers to get into the basement. We won't know until we see it. But we did have the east off of that bridge there, so he might just go east immediately after he sees the connection.
Yeah, I think you definitely check this cave, and he's going to get this. I don't know if he's going to go back and find the other caves.
Yeah, with the hammer, that's actually not a bad find, right? Because if we have a forest tile Nukasudo in the east, and that happens to be, spell from Saria into spell tower forest blocked Nukasudo, then that would be nice, and you'd have all the pieces of the puzzle just when you got there. Assuming a castable spell, that is, which it might not be at Magic 2 right now.
Yeah, 80 probably castable, but hard to say.
Yeah, we'll worry more about a castable spell if we think we need it, if we get there any sooner than later.
Okay. The bouncy cat, a little bit annoying there, but honestly, I think Valence should have taken that death anyway, just to shortcut out of the room, having so little health. Question from chat. Valence is playing as Midna from Twilight Princess, I believe.
If I'm Valence, I would get the level right there, up an A at GP, and then come east here. He's so close to that 600.
Yeah, he was going to try and get a level at that palace. Unfortunately, that palace is P5. No enemy's going to give you a level up there, and we've got a flute requirement.
Yeah, and Gob sees a cave down here. It's Death Mountain. Okay, so that cave, Gob's a little stuttery on my side. I think that's on the restream side as well. Valence is solid for me, though.
Yeah, not only is that cave to Death Mountain, it is immediately boots blocked. So I'm sure Gob praying he does not have to return to that cave.
Yeah. Good information to have, though, even at the end of the day, that a continent connector exists there, and if for some reason you do get, say, child reflect hint is, Death Mountain has the child. Oh my god. Okay, I'm sorry. Side note here. The orange Lizalfos and the blue Lizalfos both invulnerable. What a good scene.
Extremely rude.
Both of these runners are like, thanks, I hate it.
That's where you get you get Fire Thunder and be like, ha, take that.
Yeah. Valence did return to the west here. Gets his heart out of Heart Container Cave. I think that's all we had access to over here. I don't know.
Yeah, there was a I believe there was a boots block preventing them from going further. It was a little hard to see on Gob's screen.
Yeah, Gob trying to do an encounter skip here on the second Darunia encounter here.
And he gets it.
Yeah, I don't know what was in this trophy cave here for Gob. Assuming he found it. Does have it marked off? Oh, that's right, medicine. They both have the medicine.
Yeah, they both have the medicine now. So, but that's just shield spell. Probably not going to see them go back for that until they have either jump or fairy, so that you can get up stab or down stab at the same time.
I think we have sunken here on Gob's side. I think there. Okay.
Okay, that's a required trophy.
Yeah, what did I say? I said reflect child. Hello, it's trophy reflect, isn't it?
Yeah, could still have reflect thunder or just child thunder.
Yeah,
reflect thunder. We're linking more spells.
All right, so this is going to be that Boots block. There's one more cave up here. Valence is going to show us. I'm pretty sure Gob saw this. Oh, okay. This is actually the other side of what was then Fairy Cave that we saw Boots locked south of. There was a little lake that we pointed out early on. And then there's another lake there on the bottom side here that looks like it's going to be an item cave, possibly a continent connector as well. But we are missing what? Two? We're just missing one item cave. It looks like magic container cave. So could be that, could be a connector.
Is great. I love this overworld.
And this is a finals, right? This is a final. You want to prove your worth in a finals race. You know, this is what you want to see, regardless if these runners are top tier or not. You know, this is a Nibiru Invitational. Those who didn't make it out of the first round of brackets did get invited to the Nibiru Invitational. So, you know, we're using the same flag set as brackets as well. And so this is what you get, you know, in a finals race. This is what we want to see.
Yeah, Gob did pick up his glove, so not going to be hiding out in New Kasuto today.
Yeah, looking like Risen. Risen, Sunken, Found. I think we're still missing Desert, and can't, even if we saw the water tile, we can't access it right now. Have we seen any towns on the east? According to Gob's tracker, we have not, unless he's just not tracked where they are, or what they have, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to have to be some towns somewhere.
And what's interesting here is that actually Valence on his own tracker has Reflect for Rudo, but Gob does not. So I don't know if Gob saw that town over there. He might have gotten Bagoo earlier than fully seeing the town over there. Not 100%. I don't recall.
Yeah, probably he would have marked it if he saw it, but
I think so too.
Yeah, this blue Iron Knuckle and Lever at the same time combination is giving both of our runners some trouble.
And yeah, and again, coming back to it being a finals match, like this is a really crappy combination, but you know, this is where, there you go, the neutral jump over the Lizalfo is gonna be almost required there, unless you just have more life levels to body even more damage. But those guys hit so hard, and so do those levers.
Yeah, and the levers have an extremely nasty habit of spawning on top of you.
Yes.
Oh, Valence almost got hit by a bubble.
Yeah.
To try to avoid the hit from the blue Lizalfos. Didn't quite make it, but good strategy.
I was going to say that was something you could do here, is maybe try to iframe through this guy a little bit with a bubble hit. There's that. Okay, that's nice.
Yeah, the bubbles, if you get hit from below while you're in the air, always pop you right, regardless of which direction you're going. So convenient going that way.
All right, so we got a trophy turn in for Reflect on Gob's side. He is P4 ready. Well, he's Karok ready. He's not fully P4 ready right now.
Yeah, still no sign of Fairy Spell or any key to put palaces into logic. And Gob fully checking up the side here, but yeah, there's nothing there.
Yeah, Valence into Sunken. Now we know this is a trophy. This is where the trophy is at. Yeah, and then Risen was the glove.
Yeah, so Valence going to find all of his necessary items from these caves in the east, but Gob is spending some time looking around the west in places. He has that hammer now when he's thinking, oh, I can check these hammer block caves, but no, they are totally useless.
I think Valence is on his final life, though. I believe that's accurate. Less than 2 hearts, though. Boy.
Yeah, it's a little bit spooky.
Oh my god. Luckily, all these small enemies, but still taking all this kind of unnecessary damage in this regard. Oh boy.
Oh, and I have no idea what the enemy set is in this Risen P-Bag Cave, but Dark Risen P-Bag Cave is always the scariest P-Bag Cave.
Oh my god.
Oh, we only saw 2 enemies. There are 2 Moas and or coconuts floating around that room.
If he can make it to the glove, he's not making it out of here.
That's fine. If he can make it to the glove, put the glove as an inventory, and then oh no!
The Octorok gets him. Oh no.
The Octorok with the double rock going high-low.
Here. Oh, right. We're going in for. Oh, we're just going in for shield here on
He's just
Gob's
going in
side.
for shield, yeah.
Well, given how punishing that east is, and we haven't seen a good reset point other than 5 where we land on the east, I mean, shield would keep our runners alive a little bit. And that terrible double Darunian encounter, which may or may not be forced at this point.
Yeah, it's a bit of a conservative play, but it may be the correct play, as it looks like both runners are going to make it. And are you still seeing Gob stream?
I am not. I have pinged.
Okay.
I have pinged the people who could help. We've got Star doing double duty on the 2 ZSR restreams here.
I just refreshed the page. It looks like it's working now. So.
Oh, okay. I bet I should have done that first before.
Yeah, Gob stream having some issues. Gob stream and/or Twitch. We'll put it that way. Okay, so Valence picking up their spell here. Going to use this magic to survive, not only in Parappa Desert, but everywhere else in the seed.
Yeah,
It's a little weird. I feel like Parappa Desert is the place you need the shield spell the least.
Yeah, I'm sorry. What was the last thing you said? Parappa Desert is the last place you need the shield.
Yeah.
Okay.
The text is that you use this in Parappa. Use this spell to survive.
That's true. It is a very, very timid place of all Zelda 2 Hyrule.
Yeah, it should be more like, in the east,
Yeah.
in P6. Use this to survive.
Gob also finding that stray desert tile encounter with the seemingly jump fairy block in the right-hand side and then force through the 4 enemies. Honestly, it's interesting because I'm almost positive that the vanilla version of that is not anywhere near as dangerous as that particular tile is in the rando. Which I'm okay with, but it's interesting that it is that way.
Yeah, enemy shuffle can really make a lot of screens much harder than they were. Also much easier, but often harder.
All right, Reflect pickup for Valence as well. Reflect, Shield, and whatever else they have. That's its spell from Saria. They're both on par with each other, at least until Gob walks into Naburu here, which is who knows what, as we stutter over the town sign name, but we'll find out soon enough.
Yeah, he may not even have checked it.
That's true.
Now, once you already have spell and shield, you may just be happy with whatever the spell is. I guess jump would probably be the least useful, but still quite nice. Maybe when you already have shield, if this is life, it's a little sad.
Yeah, did we see 2 palaces on the top side there? We saw 3 and 4, I think that's what's on Gob's tracker. Or no, yeah, 3, 4, and GP. Okay, that's what we saw. Just trying to think about like routing here because
Thunder here. Forgot.
Oh,
one.
nice. Yeah,
okay,
quick and easy pickup.
So, likelihood of child being required significantly reduced. Although we could still logically require a fairy. Fairy is one of those things where oftentimes it's required to sort of put the palaces into logic and get you going, but the actual likelihood of seeing a fairy block in the palaces is like it's a 0, but it's probably only like 20, maybe 30%.
Man, I wouldn't even put it that high. Yeah, I mean, every room that you could run into in standard and GP, like there's really, I guess in GP there's technically 2 fairy blocks because of the big lava pools, but there's really only 1 fairy block that's an actual hard fairy block in standard palaces. That's just going to be that giant lava pool.
Yeah, GP is definitely where the fairy blocks tend to be.
And even then, it's like some of the rooms aren't necessarily fairy blocks, but based on their enemy set, fairy obviously super helpful. Well, not required, but super helpful.
Yeah, fairy has the ability to take basically any room that you don't like and just be like, on second thought, I'm not going to do this. Okay, jump in Darunia.
Okay.
Not gonna go in. Makes sense. He can't get up stab. He can't get jump.
All
So
right,
that means that new casino here definitely going to be fairy.
Oh, we get in with 5 there. Spell looking like it's going to be castable. I saw a quick queue up from Gob. Missed the cost, though.
Yeah, Valence picking up his glove. Magic 3 probably could. Go west to find the hammer. Cool, thanks.
Yeah, we're also seeing the desert tile just south of New Kasuto here for Gob. So I'm sure we'll check that immediately after leaving here. Valence going to show us the struggle of exiting this cave. He might, like Gob got the glove, and then I think he either game overed or just up and ate out of this cave and went back to the west. And then, but Valence died on the way in and game overed, so I had to redo this. But he does make it out of there.
Yeah, shield spell helping a ton.
Gob. I thought he couldn't cast spell. I'm like, did he misread that in his book there?
No, looks like he plenty to spare.
Oh, we have a raft tile.
Okay, that's gonna be a way into the maze. If this is the way into the maze, it could be big.
Yeah, we got P2 on the maze here.
Because we still have a cave connector outstanding, right? We've seen a cave from east to Death Mountain, but we haven't seen the second cave.
Yes.
But if this raft is the only way, then it's gonna be maybe a while before Gob finds it.
Yeah, if the key is here, that's gonna be great for Valence. But if there's nothing really of use here, then Gob's got the answer for logic, and the palace is having the fairy spell like that, and it's just a matter of time before he finds the raft tile himself.
Yeah, desert, just a magic container for Gob. Not too useful, especially with the basement already be cleared.
See, now, okay, he's going to get the magic level here. I was going to say, maybe it's time to go back with a castable fairy. Yeah, we get 2 casts of it right there at 42. I guess he wants to verify more of the east here, but, I mean, going back, getting downstab from Mito, doing both 3/6, and that 4, and then coming back to the east, I don't know. I don't know if that's the play potentially here.
Yeah, 4/4/4 should be good enough levels to do those palaces without issue.
Because at this point, there's nothing else for him to find, at least in terms of overworld locations. Water tile would be nice to find just for leader looking into it if he felt it was necessary. But other than that, he's got everything else he needs right now. Everything else he could find.
Yeah, at this point, I think the only thing left for our runners for a possible go mode is the flute.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's very true. That's why it might be nice to have a read on a water tile in case you're kind of last locationing that flute there, and you're like, okay, well, where's the water tile?
But it could definitely be that you need the boots to get in Death Mountain as well, because the one entrance we had went nowhere. Although Valence has seen a cave here.
Okay.
Though both runners probably aware at this point that that cave technically cannot be in logic.
Yeah, a weird quirk currently.
It's just another. Is that red Lizalfos immune?
Yeah, I think they might all be immune. That's like the worst thing you could have. Okay, well, there's that cave.
Okay, yeah, well, when I said that cave can't be in logic, it's for more than one reason.
So Gob game over is in that encounter. I don't know where he was, again, a little stuttery, and I wasn't sure if he was down there by the raft tile. He just hadn't seen the south side of the water there. I'm just not sure if he was in that location, but I don't know what he's going to do now.
Okay, the second item in the maze, sort of all the way on the opposite corner, is the boots. So this could be huge for Valence, partially to get back out of this maze without going through a million encounters. Partially because that puts DM into logic.
Yeah.
And if we're looking for a flute, it absolutely could be chilling out in Hammer Cave or something stupid like that at this point. Because between both of our runners, we've seen a good deal of the item locations.
So I think Gob made a mistake. He's done this in the past. He's been yelled at previously. I'm not going to yell at him now, but I'm just going to point out that I'm pretty sure he cast Fairy while jumping, which puts you in a jumping state. which means you can't get into a door when you're
Look
stuck in
at
that jumping state.
Just up from this raft tile, there's a river devil.
Yes.
He's blocking an actual honest-to-God path, and we don't know what's the other side of it.
Could be flute into water tile, perhaps. But then again, the water tile wouldn't have the flute on it at that point.
If we get an actual required river devil, it's going to be early Christmas for everyone. I mean, we know the flute's required for Three-Eyed Rock already, but we could need to play some sweet tunes. But that game over may be a blessing for GobOne, because you were mentioning earlier, maybe he should just start hacking away at some of these palaces. And once he took the game over, he decided, well, I'm going to get down stabbed. I'm going to do palaces.
Yeah, he just jumped into 4 here. He sees the key door to the right, not going to cast Fairy to go through. Going to check the left here at the bottom. This is the item room in 4, so we'll see what's in here in a moment. 300 each for the blue Iron Knuckles.
Very nice.
Nothing to cast Fairy with, though. Was it worth it, Gob? Was it worth it?
Well, he could. Thankfully, you could check in this item room. You can go over the top.
Ooh. So that look at that Death Valley. That Death Valley. Oh, you come from the south side.
Is that the River Devil leading into that Death Valley?
I'm wondering, it's either River Devil to get in there, or it's like south in the water to get in there. I'm still not. I don't think Valence has given us the full coverage of the map here.
My love for this overworld just keeps growing.
Well, here's water tile for us to look at.
Do we got a flute here? No. Hard container, good pickup though.
Man, so what does that mean? Flute either in DM or a palace at this, or magic container cave. Not to sound like a porpoise there, but magic container cave also boots blocked. What we assume there.
Back on the west. Yeah. But it's kind of a long check. Either you have to go and march all the way back across the east to get down to the bridge, or you have to up A and go through Saria. Neither of which is quick.
Yeah. And Valence, still hasn't even seen that stuff yet. No, reds are not invulnerable here.
Okay, so it's just the blues and the oranges. One possibility for Valence, if they really do want to check that that last item cave in the west, sort of do what Gob is doing right now. If you're going to up A anyway to check it, take your time, clear the palaces, get your down stab, do the stuff that you need to do on the west, and then sort of check it on your way out.
Yeah. And funny enough, the water tile, I didn't even know where the water tile was, but obviously it was just south of the desert tile, which was right next to Nukasudo. So Valence gonna have a full clear of the east at this point. He doesn't know about Three-Eyed Rock, or does he?
I think it was basically right at the start. You just went up right at the start, and it was right there. But I don't remember if he saw it for sure, but I suspect he did.
Yeah, so if that's the case, then he'll know he needs the flute, and it won't be here, and it won't be anywhere on the east, unless it's in a palace. But we don't have a hint for that, so it is going to be time to start looking for these things. We are not in go mode just yet. Yes, I think it was a Magic 4. It came down to 42. Gob now at Magic 5. Or I believe that's accurate. Looks like it's 42 anyway at Magic 3, so no gain or loss, I think, at Magic 4.
The second glove block here in this palace for GobOne. Obviously, both runners got that hint, got their glove already, but it is interesting to see this many glove blocks already.
Karak has walled himself in, although one of the glove blocks was to the item room in a dead end, I think, and the second
this one also to a dead end, yeah. And Gob just trying to get enough experience to pick up this level before the up A.
Probably gonna get it, yeah.
Yeah, the P-Bag definitely contributing.
All right, so at We had a junction here, I think, is the first elevator down, and then a right at the bottom. Yeah, we left here and a right at the bottom. Oh, I'm sorry. There's even a four-way right before the bottom. So, okay, I must have just missed this on Gob's side because of a little bit of a stuttering that we're seeing here. We haven't gotten a confirmation on what fire is yet, have we? We cast it, but
yeah, I don't know, because like Valence just got it. I think Gob's had it for a while, but it's a little hard to tell sometimes with the stuttering.
Yeah, we're walking to the jump town here. I did just refresh here. Am I good now? We're walking just out of a hint.
Yeah, I think we're synced up now.
Okay.
This room for Gob always confuses me. Because there's a couple different rooms where you sort of climb up a stairs and then you go down an elevator. They sort of look similar. One of them is an item room and one of them is not. And I think you can tell just by the little thing at the side, but I always am like, is this the item room? Like, I feel like I need to check this regardless.
Yeah, I think Gob's in the dead end here.
Is this the dead end version?
I didn't see the front of it, so I don't.
I thought he had the two enemies at the front, but maybe. Okay, he just decided he wanted to get that key because he got into a bit of a pickle and he needed to use thunder. So he's like, at second thought, I should grab that key because I just lost a fairy cast. Death Mountain holds the child. That's scratch one off the possibilities for flute location.
Yeah, that's kind of nice, but then again, it is 50-50, right?
Yeah.
So still could be.
Well, Death Mountain is 50-50. Palaces, we don't know anything about any of the palace items other than that one of them is the candle. So...
Yeah, I don't think Gob... I think that was the pass-through Minecraft room because Gob is able to still keep going left there, so...
Yeah, well, also, like, I'm not sure he has any further forks he can do,
though.
Though this is a dead-end version of this room, so he must have some way. But 300 for the blue iron knuckle, let him get magic 5 before up in A. So very nice levels for Gob.
Oh.
555, having not killed any palaces yet.
Yeah, 39 minutes in, though, you're wondering, or you're kind of maybe wishing you had a gem placed at this point. It's not going to be before the 40-minute mark, it seems like. But then again, given that west, I don't know. That west was kind of crazy, and people having to traverse it multiple times, and so, maybe 40 minutes doesn't feel nearly as bad.
Dripping 150-point Doom Knockers. And dripping 150-point Doom Knockers, if I recall correctly, share an ID with Magos. So that means that in the rest of the palaces, we're going to be dripping some Magos.
It's Doom Knockers and Little Goomas and Magos and Wizards, yeah.
Magos and Wizards, okay. I wrote a whole document on the wiki to try and remember, and I never do. But I'm glad I wrote it down. It needs a little bit of work. It's not 100% accurate, but it's pretty close.
All right, key on the floor here for Gob. Elevator down in this room, so this could be Karok here. There's not too much P4 left at this stage.
Okay, so Valence sort of worked his way around, picked up some towns that he didn't have before. Definitely sees 3 out of rock now, and if he just goes south, he'll be able to loop around back to the west and check his last item cave there. So Valence going with the sort of full overworld routing. GobOne, despite probably not feeling like he's got a palace lead, having placed no gems at 40 minutes, does in fact have a lead, at least in palace exploration.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Valence back on the west is going to try and go across that boot block and find that last cave. And it's kind of got to be something good at this point. We've got a couple containers left in the pool, but there's still flute, any key.
Yeah, our runners are hoping it's something good here.
Yeah, well, I'm sure valence especially, because this is not a thing that's really easy to get to. It's a thing you could easily forget. And Thunder making quick work of the red Dyra block in the way. And it is the flute. Big pickup for valence. We'll see if Gob remembers to check this spot when he comes back down after completing his palaces, because he is, of course, gonna do the other palace here.
Yeah, so Gob's got this done. He's got P4 done. He's going into this palace, but man, you know, not knowing where the flute is, knowing it's required, and having to go to Maze Island that he doesn't know how to get to yet, having to go there, get the boots off of there, then remember Magic Container Cave that his boots locked on the west to get the required flute. Man, I got to give it to Valence currently with that. Like, if the flute was in a palace, let's say Gob was about to pick it up. Well, I guess he's probably about to pick up the candle, but you know, if it was in a palace and Gob was to get that before Valence, that would have been big. But there's kind of a path here that Gob's going to need to follow in order to get that required flute. And right now, Valence having that, I think he's got time on Gob currently, but I guess that does come down to how well he does route these palaces as well.
Yeah, if Gob comes out of this P6, which looks like it's a real quick one. Okay, yeah. Gob casting fire.
Looks like it's shield. Okay,
shield's good. Shield's good. Fire shield, not the best fire link spell, but yeah, it could be a little bit cheaper. But the big question is, you know, does Gob check this flute? If he checks this flute right after, he's gonna have some pretty natural routing in his second dip through the east. He'll be able to check 3 out of rock, sort of work his way through the other palaces, and then hopefully he should make his way down into Valley of Death with that flute in hand. And if that flute is the required route into Valley of Death, he's sort of not going to have to do a lot of the double dipping that Valence is.
Well, Gob is going to need those boots before he can get that flute.
Oh, right. Gob, I keep forgetting Gob doesn't have the boots, and the boots are all the way down there in the east next to that River Devil. Oh, this overworld. I both hate and love it.
Yeah, he's not seen that raft tile yet, so he doesn't have that information yet. That's where I'm giving the edge to Valence currently, because he's going to be able to, well, he's however fast he does this 4, it looked like kind of a bad 4 anyway if you just stuck to meta routing.
Yeah, that's going to be a big question for Valence.
Yeah.
You know, Gob definitely looked like he basically last locationed the way to the boss here. If Valence does better, then it could be a big difference.
Yeah, that is true, though. I mean, I give the edge to Valence, but that doesn't mean that Gob can't recover, right? I mean, obviously, just forget about palace routing. It's that he could do these palaces pretty quickly, find that raft, get the boots, find the items pretty quickly on Maze, walk out of there and just do kind of what Valence did, walk back to the raft tile, right? I mean, not the raft tile, the bridge tile, and then go do Magic Container Cave. And then, like you say, just clear the east, up an A out of there, and then just go across Zarya to GP. So his routing isn't that punishing currently because he's done with the top side of the west right now.
The big question for him as far as how punishing is his routing going to be is that River Devil required to get to the valley? If it is, then GobOne is going to basically be able to do this like perfect routing where he does all the west, he clears his way all the way through the east, he gets to where the Valley of Death is, and then has to totally redo the whole thing once he goes back and, you know, finds Maze Island, gets his boots, gets his flute. This has been the first time in a very long time that the big question it comes down to is the River Devil required?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure if Valence maybe saw something on the corner of his map that we didn't, and maybe he's got the answer right now. But, you know, I don't think either one of us have confirmation on exactly how to get into that Valley of Death right now.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. But there's no reason for Gob not to just do what he's doing right now, clear the palaces, beat him up. He knows he needs to do these. He's not going to have any kind of blocks, and there's nothing going to... At 5, 6, 7, he's going to have no problem with combat, and he might as well just do these palaces on the way. He's going to go up into 3-Eyed Rock just after this, clear another palace.
Yeah, Valence is actually en route to getting to Karok quicker, but he's going to miss that extra magic container right now unless he comes back to dig for it, which I doubt he's going to.
Oh, I say 3-Eyed Rock. He's definitely not going to do 3-Eyed Rock after this. He still does not have blue. It's interesting how they didn't... Most of their routing was the same for most of the beginning of this seed, but the little difference right at the end of Exploration of the East has ended up making a huge difference in the order that they're going to do everything in this seed. And it looks like Valence did get a little bit faster of a 4 clear.
Yeah, there were the 2 glove blocks that that we were discussing when Gob was going through them earlier, right? The ones that but they both led to dead ends. One of them did give us access to the item room, though, but Valence not seeing either one of those.
Yeah, and putting your first gem on the board at 47 minutes can't feel great. But we know that Valence is maybe kind of probably ahead.
Yeah, this is 5, I believe, right? This gray.
Yeah, I think so.
Because 2 was on Maze Island, right? So depending on this 5 routing from Gob, I don't really know. I have not been watching him all that closely on where Guma might or might not be.
Yeah, thankfully he's got 7 magic bars, 6 life, 5, 6, 7, and shield spell. The actual combat shouldn't be too difficult. Zone, is this a loop?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a dead end that just elevators itself into itself.
Slight mistake from Gob there. If you are in an elevator that you suspect is a loop and you plan on coming back, you should go left from 1 screen away from where you start.
Yeah. Not
2 screens, because if it just happened in the rare case where it's actually just 2 identical rooms stacked on top of each other, if you go down 2 rooms, you'll loop back to where you were. Whereas if you go up or down only 1 room, you'll very quickly realize, oh, this is actually a different path.
Yeah, I'll always pick the odd floor. And that P6 just as fast for Valence, so he's closing the gap here.
Yeah, and when he goes back to the east, he will definitely be able to sort of god route the remaining palaces in the east. Nothing really left to stop him.
Yeah, I was just going to point out 200-point Magos there, but not going to see them in the Dripper today.
Yeah, we saw the little baby Guma Drippers too, and they were 50 points.
Okay. Yeah, they're not worth. They're only 100 max, I think, in this flag set, and those Doom Knockers obviously can be anywhere between 50 and 200. So.
Ooh, really unfortunate bot from Valence right at the end, only like 1 or 2 hits away, and gonna have to restart.
Yeah, if Gob needs to get himself some let me reword that. Gob does need to get himself some time here to get these boots and get into Magic Container Cave. So anytime he can get off of Valence here, he needs that right now.
Yeah, he does find Guma at the end of a not particularly easy path, it looked like.
Yeah. I was just going to say that. I'm not sure where this Guma was, but we did see a good chunk of 5.
Okay, State of Death, I think he has a life in reserve. Is 2 lives. Okay, he'll be fine. He was very low on life coming into this the first time, but he's got shield spell. I don't believe he picked up life, but also shouldn't matter at 5, 6, 7. Yeah, he's just sort of bodying Guma. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, we got Guma down.
Patrick, no. Their Valence took the road equally traveled. Both roads were traveled by 1/2 of the runners in the seed.
All All right, so we've got 4 and 6 down for Valence, for 5 and 6 down for Gob. Really, 1, 2, and Thrall 2 could still be kind of a pain, but 1 and 3 probably not going to be too much of a troll. Did we see? Well, okay, so we've got 1 and 3 between 3-Eyed Rock and Death Valley. So I think we're about to see a little bit more. Oh, we can get in. We can get in. Okay.
Oh, and interesting. Valence doesn't even try looking for Valley of Death. Decides just to take it up A and come back in to the west. I'm not really sure where he plans on going from here, though.
Well, Valence he did 4 and then 6. Both of those were on the top side of the west.
So I'm sorry, I'm getting them backwards. Yeah, Gob is continuing and searching the east. Valence correctly up-Aing after clearing 6, saving him approximately 7 tiles of walking.
Well, Gob might see he's not going to see the raft tile. He's going to see the River Devil. So the River Devil could get you access to this point, but it looks like you could access up here anyway. So River Devil, once again, trying, but not getting the full
we
block.
need to have like a River Devil blocked item cave.
Just slap him in Death Valley, in the Valley of Death.
Tail. we can. One of the ideas that's floating around in my head is having a town besieged by River Devils. They're blocking off all the sides. You gotta get a flute to make your way in.
Both of them in a very similar looking palace, same brick pattern, but slightly different colors here.
Yeah, and we do know that these definitely different palaces.
Yeah, okay, so it's P1 for Gob, P3 for there's the pillars there on Valence's side. I don't know if we're 100% synced up anymore because I switched over to the tracker page.
Probably pretty good.
Okay.
Close enough.
I imagine Gob's probably getting down to the wire here. He's not going to leave items behind. He left an item behind in 6. Although, again, probably gambling that that's just the candle.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't want to dig any further in that palace either.
Yeah. But he's probably going to dig out the items in 1 here. Again, thinking, well, here it is, the item room in 1. Probably thinking, man, I kind of wish I knew where this maze was at. Is it going to be in Death Mountain? He doesn't have the boots, so even if it is in Death Mountain, from his perspective, he's going to, at a minimum, need the boots, which are not here.
Yeah, and I don't know which way he's going to go after this, right? Like he kind of is running out of options. He really, there's almost nothing else he could do other than find that maze.
Yeah, really. I mean, that really is it. It's just that raft tile is kind of hiding from him. Hopefully he, from the side he's on right now, if he walks back out of Death Valley, he can't go south through the River Devil, right? He's got to there's a pass-through cave that is by where they land on the east. If you walk a little southwest from where you land on the east from the bridge, there is a pass-through cave that Valence saw first, right? He saw that. He went that direction earlier than Gob did, and I think Gob was down there, but it's possible he wasn't because I'm not 100% sure how much further Gob went south from the water tile, because it was a little bit of a walk to get down to the coast, and that would have been where the raft was at.
We're just had evaporating here, but unfortunately Gob doesn't have enough to cast Fairy, and he's going to have to take a death the long way. You can't do these drippers. God, this is going to take like a minute and a half. Okay, the little baby Gua is going to do significantly more damage. 7 bars, though, of life 7. It just takes a while to die.
Yeah, I don't know if getting hit by their whatever they throw, meat sticks, takes more damage than bodying them. Like something like a blue iron knuckle, bodying them does nothing, but taking beams does a ton of damage. These are the little things to kind of know as I don't know in that regard, but I might have checked if I was in such a position to see which did more damage. If either does, one doesn't have to do more damage than the other, though.
Yeah, I'd like to at some point go through and record which enemies do which damage types on which parts of their attack. There isn't really a good reference for that. Just for for people who aren't aware, the way the randomizer randomizes damage, all of the enemies that have damage that can be randomized, their damage falls into one of 7 different categories. And that's based on enemies that do flat damage, regardless of what your life level is in vanilla, aren't randomized. But if they have damage that depends on your life level, then it'll be shuffled. And there's 7 different categories, and all enemies that deal one category of damage will deal the same amount of damage after the shuffle. But that obviously could be different. But yeah, different. So if one category rolls high, you'll see it consistently through all enemies of that type, as God finds the back end of the River Devil, so could be convenient but not that useful. But what is useful is a magical key.
Yeah, and as well for Gob here, this is the pass-through that Valence took from the bottom side to the top to get to both Water Tile, Desert Tile, Duca Pseudo, all that stuff up here. So Gob is on the right path as long as he at least checks along the water. So he'll see that raft tile, and then he'll be off to the maze. He'll be able to do 2. We'll see if he clears the items on maze before doing 2. That might be helpful, more helpful than doing 2 first, unless magically the item is very close by the boss in 2. Who knows yet, because neither one of our runners have actually dug into it.
Yeah, meanwhile, Valence has spent quite a bit of time on this 3. I feel like more than Gob did.
Well, Gob hasn't been here yet. This is 3.
All right. This is 3-eyed rock. I'm like, I didn't remember this palace being that long.
Gob was here so quickly, he just walked right by it.
They're just both palaces are purple.
Yes. Yeah, looks like Gob is going to look for these items first. That is the play. He'll see the boots. He'll be able to skip the item in 2 again, assuming it is not, like, right next to the boss. And... Oh, go ahead.
I was like, Valence didn't quite get the lineup on Revo, but get a little bit lucky after knocking out the horse. Revo took a step forward and lined it up for him.
Yeah, I don't recall what happened on Barba. I guess that was Life 6 or Magic 6 for Valence, and now he's going to get his attack 5. Oh, that's right. It was Magic 6 because Magic 6 was 2080 and attack 5 is 2180. Gob let it ride to the 2180. That's why he had attack 5 much earlier than Valence. Okay, it all makes sense now.
Yeah, and Gob just because of where he, because of sort of just some amount of luck on experience gathering and where he's gotten various different things, it's just going to end up significantly higher on levels. But I wouldn't be that surprised if we see Valence sort of light some gems on fire towards the end here.
Yeah, I think that could be a very real possibility here. So we've got our boots on Gob's side. We got both items on Gob's side. He's just walking it back to the palace now. Going to do 2. Man, gonna be close here, depending on how fast this 5 is for Valence. Yeah, things have fallen back in the favor of Gob, I think, because that P3 was a little rough for Valence, and
he is gonna lose.
Oh! I'm sorry. No, go ahead. Are you gonna talk? You're gonna say boots? We need to go to Magic Container Cave still.
Yeah, we still need to do that. But also, I was gonna say Gob is gonna lose a little bit of time, maybe a minute or a minute and a half, just because he does need to actually go all the way back to 3-eyed rock.
Yeah, well,
it's
he
not
might
really
actually,
in a convenient spot.
He might actually search 2 for the flute as well here, so that might be a thing. Like, we know it's not here, so we're kind of routing him in to just get out of here, find Helmet Head, get out of here, go to Magic Container Cave, and then back to 3-eyed rock. Assuming he knew that perfect route, which he doesn't, so he's probably going to look for flute in here, which, again, if it's too far away from the boss, this is going to cost him some time.
Yeah, or maybe it'll be a pass-through and it'll cost him no time.
Yeah, that's best case scenario for Gob right now. And at this point, what's it going to be? 50-50 8th Magic Container or nothing?
And by nothing, you of course mean the candle.
Candle's probably in 6. Well, I guess candle 6 or here or
yeah. There's a candle. There's a different item that's nothing, and then there's the last container. I love how you have completely no-sold the candle being nothing.
Well, at this stage,
It's not going to be very good. Certainly for Gob, who has already been into all the dark caves and through the Valley of Death.
Exactly.
Candle, probably actual literal nothing at this point. I do not think he will spend any time back in the dark unless he takes the Pastor Cave back out of this area that he's in.
Well, there is a red Dyra in Magic Container Cave, but you know.
Yeah. At 767, okay. I don't think it's going to be an issue.
I am terrible at this P5, and I have no idea where Guma is, so Valence is all in unknown territory to me. I did not get a read on Gob's path.
I think Gob has been in this room before. He found a drop, and it looped him. The danger you take if you have been in a room that is a drop exit, and if you've already seen a room that's a drop exit, and then later on you see a drop, it's spooky, right? You're always thinking, well, that could just be sending me backwards. But it was a loop that there weren't any additional paths he could have taken, so he can now take a left at this elevator instead of a right. And
didn't he
go a different way? Did he take a left here before?
He did take a left here. He did. Yeah, these enemies are dead in here.
Isn't this the loop again? I think he needed to go right there.
Well, there's another junction here.
Okay, this room. Okay, he needs to go left here. Got it. Or somewhere else. Who knows?
Either way, Valence has found something it doesn't like. Oh, okay, we've looped back for Gob, but Valence has also started 5 over here.
It's the worst feeling in the world when you go through a whole bunch of paths and loops and different routes, and then you go up an elevator and it's the entrance.
Yes, it is.
It's like, cool, I spent all this time and I have accomplished nothing.
That's the thing I don't like. It is frustrating as the runner, but I will say that it's nice overall because I'm a big proponent of like the loops over dead ends, because at least you won't be necessarily backtracking down like an 8-room dead end or something. At least as long as it's going to loop somewhere, you won't be too punished necessarily. It does depend on the layout of the palace, though.
Yeah, that's a thing that we could potentially tune. Coming into 4.4 probably, because I have to redo some of the room stuff. Adjusting the maximum number of dead ends in the palace.
Yeah, I'd love to play with those settings like in a crazy experimental branch for sure, just to see what palace layouts could feel like as we just mess with a bunch of knobs and switches.
Okay, so this is what I was saying before. Gob is finally going right after going down that elevator. Finds, okay, this is one of the 3 things we said could have been here. It's going to be the last container.
Yeah, so again, good for him in the sense that he found it before getting to the boss, because now he's just going to find Helmet Head somewhere and be out of here. And if he's looking at a tracker, he knows Magic Container Cave or DM, God forbid he goes, or Gob forbid he goes to DM over Magic Container Cave right now, because that would be the huge risk of a play.
It would be... It's not even necessarily that much of a risk, though. On islands or I don't know if it's island or canyon. It's probably islands. But on islands DM, when you have the hammer and the boots, you know there's... I guess he knows there's only one item there because he got the hint for the child already. But like, just going and fighting Spec Rock is probably a pretty quick check. He may try to do that first.
Simultaneous boss fights here. Big Brother Palace over Little Brother Palace, and we've got more gems to place.
It got not quite quick enough on his fairy to try and speed up this transition, but Gob gonna remain a palace ahead, but a flute behind.
Yeah.
And I still gotta think that puts Valence in the driver's seat here.
I think Valence is walking over to wherever Death Valley is. not 100% sure if he's got, again, if he's had the read on the entrance. He knows where it's at generally, but I think he's going to have to feel out the entrance.
Yeah, so this pass-through cave, I think, is going to take him in the right direction. I don't know if it'll be an easy route from here.
Yeah, it's going to take him south of the River Devil. He can go through, or north of the River Devil. Oh, so he's actually got to go north from here.
Does he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he does. He's got to get around, so maybe he thinks
maybe he's going to 2 first. That would make sense too.
I mean, regardless of whether he intended to go to 2 first or not, going to 2 first is now the correct thing. So.
Oh, we're doing water tile check on Gob. That's a good check.
Okay,
that's a good check.
Yeah, this makes sense. It's a very quick check. Could be the last hard container for him. So he is just a life spell away from full Josh ED.
He's coming back west, but he's not going. Where's he going? He's not going.
Where is he going?
He must feel he's got something up here to check. Now, to be fair, he technically speaking does. Like, he can reach the top side of Fairy Cave, which will spit him out right next to Magic Container Cave. And honestly, if he does that, that's going to be great for him. But if he's not going in that direction, which is going to be west from here, then that's not good for him. But there is a boots blocked cave down here he would have saw early on, and I think he's going to check it. And as long as he goes through it and doesn't up an A, as long as he goes through that, he will see the other neighboring cave down there.
Yeah, well, I had totally forgotten about this. But yeah, this will spit him out roughly where he needs to be. Wow, and Valence, Valence. Gob was taking a bunch of lefts in this palace, and they really didn't pay off. And Valence just applying standard routing and is going to be at Helmet Head way faster.
Gob goes in the Fairy Cave up an A's. It's not.
Okay. Well,
we'll see if he walks it around.
It's a little sad, but just like crossing Saria and walking across the water the same way Valence did, not going to be that much slower. As long as he doesn't go back to the east, he's going to be in good shape here.
Yes.
If he goes back to the east and decides on Death Mountain, that's going to cost him.
Yeah.
And it's not even a terrible play from like an odds perspective.
You're not wrong.
It's not a wrong play. It's just not the right play. Okay, he is going west here.
Yeah, I was going to say, if he did go to DM, like you said, if you could just find a quick spec rock and hope that it wasn't the child at that point, right? Because then you would know child is in the other spot. I don't need to be here to go to find Hammer Cave. You know, that would have been the best gamble, the best thing to happen had he gambled Death Mountain.
Yeah, and Valen's going to now work his way to P1 as Gob picked up his flute. He's going to be able to walk it off. It should be in P3 fairly quickly, but we know Valence spent quite a bit of time in P3, and P1 was not that long.
Well, funny enough, if you go left in P3, you end up at Rebenak earlier, which is why Valence didn't find it. He did meta routing, and then we'll see, because Gob's been now spooked maybe by his non-meta routing in 2, burning him a little bit. We'll see if he goes back to meta or if he stays taking those left. So this is interesting choices he's got here.
Yeah, I think either way, we're going to see both our runners in GP at the same time.
Yeah.
And once both runners are in GP at the same time, anything can happen.
Yeah, just going back to that P5, I have no idea who did the P5 faster. Like, based on it all, I could not tell you at this point. So whether P5 ended up being a little bit of an equalizer in some regard, I just don't know. You'd really have to slap the 2 runs next to each other and time them out, because I have no idea.
I feel like it was comparable, but that's also entirely a feels-based metric and not evidence-based.
Yeah, where's Gob going here? He's
going down the coast.
He's gone south from the raft tile, but he knows where Three-Eyed Rock is. It's north of the raft tile.
I like fairly certain he found that almost immediately coming through here.
Yeah. Yeah, this is south of the double Dorinian encounter. Those are the 2. That was Risen and Sunken Peabag Cave right there. So now he's going back north, and he needs to hit the land and then go north from there.
I mean, even if well, he's going to be forced to hit the land. I was going to say, even if he doesn't hit the land, he will very quickly be able to see the palace from the coast. But nice thing about three-eyed rock is it's very difficult to miss. The rocks are quite distinctive.
Yeah. Well, we're each walking into 1 and 3 on each of our 2 runners here. Whoever can do these first, technically Gob has the quicker walk back to GP. Then again, if Valence just up in A's, technically it might just be faster to leave North Palace and go across Saria to hit GP because it's right there as well. So
and Gob not going left. The one time I think going left would really pay off, and he's going right. I mean, you have no way of knowing, right? It could be anything.
Yeah, exactly. We've all seen boss rooms, bottom of the first elevator, first room to the right, and then it's over. But not in this P3 here. The thing he might save a little bit of time on is not getting the item, but then again, it is the magic key, and there are no keys in the drop pool. So for him, it's going to be 50-50 Death Mountain or P3 for magic key.
Yeah, but as we knew, P1 is a quick one, and Valence is here already, of course, evaporating underneath his sword.
I don't know what 3870 is. Could be Life 8, could be Attack 7.
Could be a burned gem. I would not be placing this gem here. But I understand Valence wanting to play it a little safe.
I'm taking a bop there. Got to redo this room here.
Yeah, these rooms with the glove blocks to prevent you from fairy cheesing them, I really like. I know that the idea comes from vanilla, but I appreciate that people have made additional variations on them. I think them forcing you to play the rooms fairly brings some nice added difficulty. Yeah, he's having problems. Yeah, I was gonna say he's having problems getting past that Stalfos, but yeah, just cast Thunder. Eliminate your problem.
At least he's got an easy generator in that room, just the tin suits there. Yeah, so Valence opting to do the up and A. He's about to leave Saria, and he will be in GP shortly.
All right, 113.43 gates up.
We'll see how many minutes of difference between him and Gob here of entering in. Oh, we're going left. Okay.
I mean, Valence placed his first gem at like 40-something minutes.
Yeah.
I understand him thinking that he's behind.
Here's the thing, though. When you get that left and the right, maybe you just check to the right real fast in case it's just Thunderbird sitting there. Then take your left.
Yeah.
And if it's a dead end immediately, then you know never to come back that direction, that you're not missing anything, right?
Yeah, I've done that a number of times before. You go left early on, or even if you go right early on, you know you've got that path right at the beginning. And if you are feeling like you're really lost or like things just aren't going well, you get it back in your mind. Well, I can up A, and there's a whole nother path. Who knows? That could be Thunderbird right there. And knowing that it's garbage, you don't have to think about it, really can improve your mindset when you're routing through the rest of the palace.
Yeah, Gob not having a good time in this 3 here, doing this seemingly the same stuff that Valence was doing, not finding Rebo all that quickly here. I think we're 4 rooms in on Valence's side here. He's got an elevator down on this side of this room.
We'll see if this is Thunderbird.
Oh my God.
Yeah, this is how this seems to have, we get a number of seats like this recently. Very linear start to GP, although I guess we had that fork at the beginning. But yeah, fairly linear start, and then you get a couple rooms in, you get a Thunderbird, and then we get a bunch of forks right after. But I mean, with that fork at the beginning, the rest of the palace could be down that way. This could be Dark Link in the next room.
Yeah, it absolutely could be.
Valence a little bit off cycle, gonna have problems. Looks like he's got it mostly reset. Looks like it doesn't matter though.
Gob seeing the item room, backing out, then coming back in. Might have just thought it was a dead end at first instead of saying, no, I don't want the item. But then realizing item room, and he's gonna do the fight and take it. It's gonna be a quick fight regardless.
And you want some gambles. Here's the Eon drop.
Oh boy.
I think you can't. I think you have to go right here. I mean, Eon would disagree, right? But
and it's hard too, because this isn't just a pass through. This is an elevator up. But even if it is just the right pass through, obviously boss rooms have to be seen left to right. So, if you just keep going right, who's to say that the boss room isn't over here? There could be 22 rooms of GP, or the boss room could be right here. You never know.
Yeah, I thought about making a drop Darklink room, but I'm not entirely sure how buggy that would be.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Drops are weird because when you drop, you end up at the same X coordinate in the room you dropped into as where you dropped from. So if you're going to make a drop exit room, it has to be a room where it's not going to break if you drop in at an unexpected place. And I'm not entirely sure how well the Darklink scripting works if I can adjust that around. But
just recode the assembly to force to I guess pre-assign drop or landing locations on pages.
That would be.
Just recode the game, Elendar. Yeah, come on, just rewrite the game. Well, real fast there. Gob not going back to the bridge. I don't know where he's going. Is he missing something? Look at his tracker is absolutely full here. He's going west instead of south back to the bridge, which is where GP is at. I don't know what he's doing. Other than giving Valence more time right now.
What?
Oh, is it upstab? Is he going for upstab?
Okay. Yeah. I mean, if he doesn't have upstab, he can go get upstab.
Oh, does Valence not have upstab? That might be a determining factor here.
Yeah, I don't know. He does. He does have upstab, okay. Yeah.
All right, so there it is. Yeah, Gob definitely going to be looking for this Davernia upstab acquisition here.
Yeah, I don't know. I might be tempted to gamble at this point. Yeah. It's almost an hour and 20 in. You haven't even been into GP. This is one of those things where I'm not that proficient at the upstab skip, but I might having jump already. I might gamble for it, and if I do find a required upstab, just sort of try and get good on the fly.
Yeah, and that's something that we talk about a lot. Play as comfortable as you want to play, but when you're in the finals that it's probably time to put yourself into some uncomfortable positions and just see how you fare. If your upstab blocks usually not that often seen, and so it is a gamble worth taking. I think, in my opinion. Have
we seen a drop exit on Valence's side?
I don't think so, but I think we saw a junction, so it's possible that
I'm still thinking about that Eon drop from Gob's perspective.
And who knows, maybe to the
Okay, and I'm not thinking about it anymore.
To say maybe to the right of start is an immediate landing room there. That would have been a terrible setback.
Oh yeah, it would have been. But yeah, unfortunately, Valence just too far ahead here.
Yeah, Valen's going to take it. Just simply hold left and then hold right and win the palace. Yeah, looking like we're going to go 1-1 here in game 2. Again, a best of 5 between these two runners. So no one's going home tonight. No one's going home in the next race either, which is yet to be scheduled right now. But I'm sure we're going to get both of them in here for an interview as Valence finishes this one up.
Yeah, official race time 1:20:04. And Gob, having reached GP and seeing the dot done, has determined he is also done with this race.
Yeah, Star is asking them now to see if they're going to be doing an interview. And again, I'm sure they will want to jump in and talk about this one. I am very interested in what was to the right in that GP there. Again, if it was an immediate dead end or just 2 rooms or something very short that would have dead ended him. Not a huge play, but let's say that there's another 12 rooms over there that are like a giant loop into themselves. That would have been quite the time sink. And here's Gob obviously walking in, about 4 minutes and some change? We did note it was, or 6 minutes and some change, I think. I think it was 73 something that Valence walked in. Yeah, according to what you wrote was 73:43. So yeah, about 6 minutes and 15 seconds there. I'm gonna drag Valence in if I can here. Valence joining us now. GG Valence.
Thank you.
Quite the race as the first one was. This was also quite the race here. Oh, let's get Gob in here before we start chatting about this. Yeah. Gob also joining us. GG Gob.
GG's Valence.
GG's.
Yikes.
Yeah, so maybe talk us through the beginning of this one with that sort of segmented Visaria mountainous west. How did that one feel there to start off?
I mean, it took forever to generate, so I knew we were in for some trouble.
Oh no, yeah, that was the first thing. I'm like, oh no, it's taking like a minute to generate
like a
the
solid
seed.
minute. Yeah. Yeah,
So
I felt Bagu pretty quickly, and I felt pretty good about until I started getting into palaces and going all the wrong ways. Go ahead.
I don't know. What minute mark did you find Bagu? Like, do you remember?
20? No, less than that. I mean, 15 maybe?
Yeah, okay. Mine was around like 11 or 12. And I was thinking, because I dipped into 6 early because I was like, there's nothing here. Maybe boots are somewhere quick because that might be required or something. And 6 led to nowhere. And I was super mad because I'm like, I gotta find Bagu.
Yeah, so Gob, your estimate is a little off because you did have Bagu like maybe 2 minutes before Valence did. So your
wow.
Bagu find was a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
Valence, you were right there. Valence, you saw a ferry in a forest, and that was that location, and you walked away from there, only to come back later, and we're like, oh no, I wonder how long it's going to take him to get back here. But it didn't take too long. Again, a minute, maybe 2 minutes difference. Gob did have the lead across Saria first there.
When did you find your boot? Which led you to...
That's a good story. That's a good story, Valence. Yes.
Because that was in the east, right?
It was on the maze.
Yeah, in the maze, yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
You had to go all the way around the east, go through the one passage to get down to the raft tile to get to the maze.
Well, there was a quicker way.
First time through. Oh.
So if you go east and you obviously went south and saw nothing and just the connector cave, in between.
Is that connector cave right to it?
Yeah, so that connector cave went right to it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But the first time I went there, I was like on low health because of the 2 prior encounters and low lives, and I got through the first cave fine, and the second cave I died right at the end before I could pick up the glove. So I had to come all the way back and do it all over again. And then I took that connector cave and it just spits you right out right next to that raft tile. And I was like, well, okay, I wasted a bunch of time, but I found raft, found maze, and then I just I found the items in there and then saw 2, but left because I still didn't have fairy or anything else to do key stuff. So it was just bleh.
You found the boots really early?
Yeah.
Oh man,
not really early. It was one of the sooner items I got.
Did that allow you to get to the flute early though? Because like I last location the boots to get the flute, and I.
Oh no, yeah, I didn't do that.
I
don't know where I found the flute, but I found that somewhere, and I mean I didn't have any because I poked my head up and I saw a 3-eyed rock. I'm like, okay, flute's required, and I kept going into towns hoping to find a flute hint just so I'd know, and that didn't happen.
Yeah, me too.
But yeah.
Dang. Looks like I got wrecked by that south connector in the east. I would have found that sooner. I don't know. I felt I played pretty good. Other than going all the wrong ways in palaces, I thought I was doing pretty good. So,
because you said you went up and all the way around.
I went down first, saw the connector, and I was like, nah. And I didn't.
Yeah.
I don't know. I found one cave down there, right? Then I went all the way back and around, found all the towns, found the tile.
So you found all the towns before I did.
Yeah.
Because you could do the towns going from raft tile, going up and to the left and all that, and eventually find them, but you found them first.
Yeah, then I went back to the west and I did 4, which I full cleared, and peeked into 6, didn't find the item. And sounds like we kind of did sort of the same thing.
Yeah. But by the time I was in go mode, no, I'm sorry, strike that. I didn't do any palaces until I was in go mode. So I
Oh
might
wow,
have
yeah, I
poked my
did.
head
As
in
soon
a
as I
little
got the
bit.
glove and fairy, I was in there.
But yeah, I
Helping.
need a fairy to do anything because keys weren't in the drop pool, even though one of the palaces had just a bunch of keys laying around. It's like, well, I could have done 4, but oh well. So yeah, I was like 40 minutes before I did my first palace, but after that it was pretty much go mode from there. It was just about proper routing.
Yeah, that's 40 is about when I started. I think 40 is when I completed my first one. But yeah, I was just thinking, do the palaces. Hopefully you'll get lucky and run into a flute. Yeah, I did 5 palaces, maybe 4 or 5, and then I realized, okay, something's in the maze. Either boots the one boots lock cave in the west, or to go to DM because DM was completely boots locked. First, I find the boots, and I'm like, oh boy, now what do I do? It was a fun seed though. It wasn't too trolly. I mean, it was kind of trolly, but not in a bad way.
No, it was trolly. You can say that. It's fine. It was trolly.
At least it wasn't mountains, man.
Well,
Wait, it
west was mountainous.
Yeah, I can handle west mountains. East mountains was.
Oh, okay. Well, it was mountainous east as well. Yeah.
No, it wasn't. What?
Sure, it was.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
Is that a mountains? Oh yeah, I guess it is. Yeah,
You
it was
had
just
kind of.
so.
There was a lot
open on the northwest.
Yeah. It was pretty open. It was pretty open. They weren't like super like tight little pockets of information today. They were just they were pretty wide. Like 3-Eyed Rock had a giant desert there, and then west of there you had all the towns, and so there was a lot of space there as well. And even down on the southwest side where the raft tile was, there was still kind of a lot of space to walk around. So instead of being, again, small, tiny pockets, they were kind of like large pockets. It was almost like quadranted off in a way, kind of in that regard.
Mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was good. We're all tied up now, basically a best of 3, right?
No, it's best of 5.
Well, we're 1-1, so it's essentially a best of 3 left. That's what I was saying.
Oh yeah, total 3. Yeah. Oh yeah, at least 3 left. Yes.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for me. I didn't feel too bad until I started going the wrong way everywhere.
Well, where did you stop?
Though. I was literally entering GP as you finished.
Oh, okay.
I had just up 8. I walked into the barrier. The barrier went up, and the screen flashed, and you had finished. And I was like, man. I mean, I wasn't shocked, but I wasn't really surprised either. But I was just like, okay.
I don't know. When I got to GP, I thought I was behind, so I just went left first because I'm like, well, see what happened, and that was the correct answer.
Was that the right way? Oh, I probably would not have gone left because I actually felt decent. There you go.
Yeah, I'm like, because my thought was like, I'm either behind and going left is the right call, or maybe he thinks he's behind, which means we'll both go left, which means even if right's the correct answer, maybe we'll both waste the same amount of time. I don't know. I'm just like, just take a risk, go left, because I feel behind, and it paid off.
Nice.
Yeah, I was gonna say from our perspective, it was a pretty good race. You both did things slightly in a different order. I mean, you started off on the east. You did things slightly in a different order. Again, with you both did Sunken and Risen, and then from there, Gob, you went up to the top side after you're up in A, and or it was you game overed. And was it a game over and up in A?
I game over working my way around on the western side, I think.
Yeah, getting out of Risen, you game over to up and A there.
Oh, that's right. Prison P-Bag Cave. I said it as soon as I walked in. I'm not going to get out of here. I should have just updated as soon as I got the item.
Yeah, and you got sent back to the west first. Valence had the double dip that Risen P-Bag Cave, and then from there he went through that connector and saw his stuff, and you came back to the east and then went north and around that way. So that's where you diverged. You both did 4 and 6 first. Your 4, Gob, your 4 was worse, but you did get the magic container out of there. You did full clear 4. Valence's was a little bit better. 6 was the same for both of you. Barba very, very close to start. Noted Doug for the item. This stage, it was the candle. And then from there was a bit of divergence on which palaces you did in which order. Fives, we have no read on who did 5 faster. We have no idea what happened in 5. 5 was a giant blur for both of you, so I don't know.
5
it
was
seemed comparable.
Pretty big.
Yeah, both of you took a moment to get there.
Felt long.
Yeah.
Yeah,
real
and
happy to get to what's its face.
1 was pretty quick for both of you. 3 was bad for both of you, and then 2 was better for Valence, I think, because Gob, you were gambling on lefts in 2 that were not paying off, and it was just go right at some point where Valence's 2 was better. And I think overall, with the boots, the early boots pickup and the early dig back to Magic Container Cave, I think that gave him what he needed prior to you, because you would have been able to like skip items in palaces where you weren't skipping items in palaces without boots or flute at that point. So you still had unknowns on the table.
For the flute too.
Yeah,
that's why I was going left. I was like, please show me the flute, man, please.
Yeah,
give me something.
Yeah.
But am I missing anything, Elendar? I don't want to dominate the conversation here.
No. I mean, we're good. I mean, we talked about a lot of these things during the race, and I'm just excited to see more Zelda 2.
Absolutely.
Heck yeah.
All right. Well, that's it from us. Star doing the double duty, finishing up the other race. No spoilers from that. No one has given any spoilers, but of course, go back and watch that one now. I'm going to. Star can take us out.
All right, GG's, Valence and Gob. Good race between you guys. Looking forward to your game 3 here coming up. Let's see. Please do give both of them a follow, as well as our 2 commentators, Elendar and Riley, as well as our tracker, Jay Luth, for helping out the restream. This one's a little chaos tonight. Thanks for that. Let's see. Coming up ahead on the ZSR schedule tomorrow, we have ourselves Grand Finals of the Wind Waker Randomizer Season 6 tournament. Main bracket, Advocate versus Rick Schmitty, Game 3 in a best of 5. We've also got, that'll be 4 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Eastern. We've got Mariah here, will be facing Paratroopa in the semifinals of the main bracket of the Z2R tournament. That'll be Game 1. Good luck on that, Mariah. We've also got Wind Waker Challenge Cup Grand Finals coming up this week. Is some Zelda 200% all keys, and of course, love Game 3 and Game 4, maybe a Game 5 between Valence and Gob as well coming up, so keep an eye out on the schedule for that whenever it gets scheduled. But until then, that is going to be it here for us tonight, I think. Any last thoughts?
That's it from me.
Thanks for the restream and all
just thanks for restreaming the com. Yeah.
I guess I should say GG to our runners again.
Yeah, GG's once again. That's it here for us. We're going to go over and say hi to Schmitty Games, who is playing, I think, the Zelda 2 PC port with some key sanity testing, according to the stream title. So we'll go see what that is. Thank you for watching all, and actually, no, we're not rating him because he's rating someone else. We're going to go over and raid over to Bonds, that is who is doing Zelda 2 Rando. Okay, there we go. Doing some Z2R is currently got 1 gem left to place. Looks like on a 6 gemmer. So we'll see how that's going for them. Thank you for watching all, and have a good night.